Hello, and welcome back to Free English Practice. I'm your teacher, and I'm so glad you're here to practice with me today. If you are an A2 level learner, if you understand some English but want to speak more easily about your life, then this lesson is made for you. We are going to spend about 25 minutes together, diving deep into a very common topic: hobbies and free time. This is so important because when you make international friends, this is what you talk about. We will listen to a longer conversation. We will break down the key phrases and grammar slowly and clearly, and I will share many examples from my own life to help you understand and remember. My goal is for you to finish this lesson and feel confident to ask and answer questions about your hobbies. So, find a comfortable place, get a cup of tea if you like, and let's begin our learning journey together.
Part 2. The Extended Conversation. A story unfolds. Let's listen to a conversation between two friends, Leo and Mia. They meet at a small cafe on a sunny afternoon. Listen carefully to how they talk about their recent activities and interests. Leo: Hi Mia, it's so good to see you. How have you been? Mia: Leo: I'm great. Thanks for asking. I've been quite busy but also happy. Leo: That's good to hear. What have you been busy with? Mia: Well, last weekend was really nice. On Saturday morning, I decided to do something different. I went for a long walk in the city park. The sun was shining and it wasn't too hot. I walked for almost an hour. Leo: Oh, I love that park. It's so peaceful in the morning. I sometimes go running there. Mia: You should have seen the flowers. They were so beautiful. After my walk, I felt so energetic. So, in the afternoon, I finally started that new book I told you about. Leo: The mystery novel? Did you like it? Mia: I loved it. I couldn't stop reading. I spent almost 3 hours just reading in my garden. It was the perfect relaxation. Leo: That sounds like a perfect day. My weekend was a bit different, but also fun. On Saturday, I played football with some friends in the afternoon. We played for 2 hours. It was tiring, but so much fun. Mia: Oh, that's right. You love football. I remember. Did you win? Leo: Yes, we did. It was a close game, but we won 3-2. In the evening, I was too tired to cook, so I ordered a pizza and watched a documentary about space. Mia: Wow, from football to space. That's an interesting combination. I enjoy watching documentaries sometimes, but I prefer nature ones. Leo: I like them too. So, what are your main hobbies, Mia? I know you love reading. Mia: Yes, reading is my biggest hobby. I get lost in other worlds. But I also really enjoy creative things. I've recently started a painting course. Leo: Really? I didn't know you paint. That's amazing. Mia: Yes, every Thursday evening. It's very relaxing. I'm not very good yet, but I enjoy the process. What about you, besides football and space documentaries? Bill and Mia: Besides football and space documentaries. Leo: My main hobby is probably photography. I love taking pictures of the city, especially early in the morning when the streets are empty. It's my way of being creative. Mia: That's a wonderful hobby. You'll have to show me your photos sometime. Leo: Definitely. Hey, maybe next weekend we can go to the park together. You can read, and I can take some photos. Mia: That is a brilliant idea. Let's plan it.
Part 3. Deep Dive 1. Asking about activities and the past simple. Now let's break down that conversation. We will look at the key language they use. I will explain everything and give you many examples. First, let's talk about asking about the past. Leo asked Mia, "What have you been busy with?" This is a very natural and friendly way to ask, "What did you do recently?" It shows you are interested in their life. You can also say, "How was your week?" Or, "What did you get up to last weekend?" Let me tell you about my week. Last week, I was very busy with making new lessons for you. I was also busy with planning a trip to see my family. So, if you ask me, teacher, what have you been busy with? I can say, I've been busy with making new lessons and planning a trip. Now let's talk about the grammar they used. The past simple tense. This is essential for talking about finished actions in the past. Listen to the verbs they used. Went, walked, started, played, watched. These are all past simple. We use this tense to talk about what we did at a specific time in the past. For example, I watched a movie last night. I visited my grandparents last month. I finished work at 5 p.m. yesterday. In our conversation, Mia said, I went for a long walk. This means the walk is finished. It happened last Saturday. It's a completed action.
Part 4. Deep Dive 2. The key verbs: love, enjoy, like, prefer. Now, the most important verbs for hobbies: love, enjoy, like, prefer. These are your best friends when talking about hobbies. Let's look at the difference carefully. Love. This is the strongest. You use it for something that gives you great passion and happiness. Mia said, I loved it, about the book. I love drinking coffee in the morning. I love listening to the rain. I love talking to my students. Enjoy. This is also very positive, but a little softer than love. It focuses on the pleasure you get from the activity. Mia said, I enjoy watching documentaries. I enjoy cooking a nice meal. I enjoy going for a walk after dinner. I enjoy reading your comments. Like, this is the most common and versatile. It's for anything you think is good or nice. Leo said, I like them too. I like pizza. I like sunny days. I like this podcast. Prefer. This is for choice. When you like one thing more than another. Mia said, I prefer nature ones, meaning she likes nature documentaries more than space documentaries. I prefer tea to coffee. I prefer reading a book to watching TV. I prefer reading a book to watching TV. I prefer quiet evenings. Let me tell you a personal story. A few years ago, I decided I needed a new hobby. I always enjoyed music, but I didn't play an instrument. So, I decided to learn the guitar. At first, it was very difficult. My fingers hurt. I didn't like practicing. But after a few weeks, I started to enjoy it. Now, I can play a few simple songs, and I really love it. It's my favorite way to relax. So you see, a hobby can start as something you just try and become something you love.
Part 5. Deep Dive 3. Adverbs of frequency and time phrases. To make your sentences richer, let's add some adverbs of frequency and time phrases. These tell us how often or when you do your hobbies. Listen to these words from the conversation. Sometimes, recently, every Thursday evening. These are very useful. Sometimes, this means not always, but also not never. It's in the middle. I sometimes go running there. I sometimes forget to drink enough water. I sometimes watch movies in English. Recently, this means not long ago. I've recently started a painting course. I recently visited a new cafe. I recently bought a new book. Every Thursday evening. This is a specific, repeated time. I have a class every Thursday evening. I go to the market every Saturday morning. I call my family every Sunday. Other useful words are always, usually, often, never. For example, I always drink coffee in the morning. I usually go to bed before 11 p.m. I often listen to podcasts while cooking. I never watch horror movies. Like, this is the most common and versatile. It's for anything you think is good or nice. Leo said, I like them too. I like pizza. I like sunny days. I like this podcast. Prefer. This is for choice. When you like one thing more than another, Mia said. I prefer nature ones. Meaning, she likes nature documentaries more than space documentaries. I prefer tea to coffee. I prefer reading a book to watching TV. I prefer quiet evenings. Let me tell you a personal story. A few years ago, I decided I needed a new hobby. I always enjoyed music, but I didn't play an instrument. So I decided to learn the guitar. At first, it was very difficult. My fingers hurt. I didn't like practicing, but after a few weeks, I started to enjoy it. Now I can play a few simple songs, and I really love it. It's my favorite way to relax. It's my favorite way to relax. So you see, a hobby can start as something you just try and become something you love.
Part 6. Deep Dive 4. Expanding your vocabulary. Hobby categories. Now let's build your vocabulary. Hobbies can be in different categories. This will help you find the words for your own interests. Outdoor activities. Walking, running, hiking, cycling, football, basketball, photography. Indoor creative activities. Reading, painting, drawing, cooking, baking, playing an instrument. Guitar, piano. Watching films, playing video games. Social activities. Meeting friends for coffee, going to the cinema, playing team sports, joining a club or course. What is your hobby? Think about it. Try to put it in a category. This helps you remember the word.
Part 7. Personal story. My hobby journey. I want to share a longer story with you about my own hobby journey. When I was a student, my only hobby was reading. I didn't do any sports or creative things, but one day, a friend invited me to go hiking. I said, no, I prefer staying at home, but my friend insisted, and finally, I went. And you know what? I loved it. The fresh air, the beautiful views, the feeling of achievement when we reached the top of the hill. It was amazing. After that, I started hiking every month. It became a hobby I really enjoy. Later, I also started this channel, Free English Practice. And this is now my biggest and most loved hobby, helping you learn English. So, sometimes, trying something new can open a door to a wonderful new hobby.
Part 8. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes I hear from students. Mistake. I very like reading. Correction. I like reading very much. Or, I really like reading. We don't say very like. We use really before the verb. Or very much at the end. Mistake. My hobby is read books. Correction. My hobby is reading books. After is, we use the ing form, gerund, for the activity. Mistake. I enjoy to play football. Correction. I enjoy playing football. After enjoy, we always use the ing form. Don't worry about these mistakes. Everyone makes them. The important thing is to learn and improve.
Part 9. Interactive shadowing and repetition practice. Now it's your turn to practice and build your muscle memory. We will repeat the key sentences from the conversation and the new vocabulary. I will leave a natural space for you to repeat each one. Let's speak together. Let's start with questions. What have you been busy with? How was your weekend? What did you get up to last weekend? What are your main hobbies? Now let's practice answers about hobbies. I went for a long walk in the park. I spent 3 hours reading in my garden. I played football with my friends. I ordered a pizza and watched a documentary. Reading is my biggest hobby. I really enjoy creative things. I've recently started a painting course. My main hobby is photography. It's my way of being creative. It's the perfect relaxation. Now, let's practice with our new adverbs. I sometimes go running there. I recently started a new course. I have a class every Thursday. I always drink coffee in the morning. I never watch horror movies. Wonderful. You are doing amazingly well.
Part 10. Conclusion, Motivation, and Preview. You have done incredible work today. You listened to a long conversation. You learned the subtle differences between love, enjoy, like, and prefer. You practiced the past simple tense. You learned adverbs of frequency, expanded your vocabulary, and you repeated many useful sentences. That is a huge amount of progress in one lesson. Remember, language learning is a journey. It's like learning a musical instrument or a new sport. It takes time and practice. Don't worry if you forget a word. The most important thing is to try. Try to think about your own hobbies in English today. Ask yourself, what do I love? What do I enjoy? What do I enjoy? What did I do last weekend? Thank you for spending this time with me and for your fantastic effort. I am so proud of you for committing to your English practice. This is your teacher from Free English Practice, wishing you a wonderful day. Keep listening, keep speaking, and I will see you in the next lesson, where we will practice talking about our families. Goodbye for now.
And that's it. We've come to the end of today's long but incredibly productive lesson. You did a really great job. You stayed focused for 25 minutes, learned new words, reinforced grammar rules, and most importantly, practiced speaking English. You learned so much today about hobbies and free time, past tense, adverbs of frequency, the nuanced use of basic verbs like love, enjoy, like, and prefer. All of this will empower you to start and maintain conversations with a confidence. Remember, what you've learned is just the beginning. The real magic lies in continuing to use this knowledge. So please bookmark this video and visit it often to practice speaking. It's always a pleasure to teach you. I want to thank you once again for taking such valuable time and investing in yourself. Seeing your progress makes me incredibly happy. Thank you for being part of the Free English Practice family. Please keep learning, practicing, and believing in yourself. In the next lesson, we'll practice speaking about family and relatives. See you soon. Take care and goodbye.